Do you think we should comment on
Commenting on comments.
how frazzle muffy I look?
Here's what's gonna happen. Prediction.
Look at your elbow pillow.
About 22 seconds from now, Plaxico the dog, who is currently off camera to your right, we're not gonna acknowledge him, look at him, or touch him,
Nope.
is going to make his way to the middle of the meeting.
And you know why? Because he loves to be smooshed.
Frazzle Muff City is what we're going for in
Should we
this
close that window?
unedited meeting. Ugh. Son of
Wow.
a bee sting. All right, you kick the meeting off and tell the people what we're doing.
Guys, first of all, this is the realness. This is what I look like about 95% of the time. If you watch our weekly check-in videos, I tend to put makeup on. It's just a ruse. This is what I look like all the time. I have showered recently in the last
Millennia.
day, which is a gift to you. And how interesting.
Ooh, I'm so curious once I watch this back how
the
much
timestamp
time it
is?
was. I'm guessing it was more than 20 seconds, but that's pretty close. Pretty good
know.
prediction. All
Just
right,
lay
here you
down.
go. This is for
Lay
you.
down.
Get your snoring on so
Get your
everyone
snoring.
can be
You're
happy
doing
at
a
home.
great job. You're doing a great
Shout out in
job.
the comments if you like Plax's snoring. Leave a puppy emoji. All right, what are we doing today?
We're not gonna like pillows. You know what we are gonna do? Our meeting today is three-pronged.
Whew.
It's a triple header.
Let's try and keep this to an hour. I'm just saying try. Hey.
First.
Less is more.
Sometimes if you talk in accents,
No, that's my
he
leg
listens
though.
more.
Okay.
First, we're gonna talk about our newsletter plan. We're gonna actually solidify our newsletter plan.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Second, we're gonna talk about failed payments. What
Okay.
happens if somebody's credit card fails?
Got it.
What are the sequence of events that happens for the monthly membership?
We're just
Do we need to
now
do anything?
dealing with some of this too, which is well timed.
Thirdly, what is our plan of content migration? We already have this plan going, but we need to like really get some action steps in place.
Okay.
To catch all of you up on where we are right now in the process, I just finished, well, we just finished, but me specifically, the designs for the rest of the public-facing website.
Yes, wanderingaimfully.com.
Wanderingaimfully.com, the website, not the under construction blog. And right now, our front-end developer is working on coding our blog posts.
Yep.
And how that's going to work. And then once he's done with that, we'll hand over the rest of the designs. He will start getting to work on that.
Yep.
But that means that now that was taking up a lot of my time, and now I can kind of shift gears to help you with content migration and some more of this, like, we're kind of slowly going from design phase
Yeah.
and build phase into now marketing, launching, content phase.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's very important because people tend to leave that stuff to the last minute. They tend to get and we've done this many times before, get so caught up in building the thing and designing the thing and thinking about the thing and coming up with the branding and all this behind the scenes that people tend to forget of, like, okay, what happens when it goes live? And do you have content ready for people? Do you have somewhere for them to be? And anyway,
Yeah.
that's where we are.
Do you want to start with content or do you want to start with newsletter? I feel like we should start with newsletter because it's the easiest of the group.
I think that's great.
Okay. All right, so currently, to catch those of you up to speed who don't know, which I don't think is anybody, but I have a weekly newsletter called The Action Army. That's on Jason Does Stuff. You have a weekly newsletter called
Self-Made Society.
Self-Made
But
Society,
I don't really use the name very much anymore.
which is on Made Vibrant.
Yep.
And the idea is that we are going to combine those two into one newsletter
To rule them all.
We tested this a little bit the end of last year just to see if people would freak out, if they would be upset. I think the only feedback that I got from people that was consistent was, I really love the thoughtfulness and the soulfulness of Caroline's emails, and I really like the practical action taking of Jason's. And so I think if we take that bit of feedback, hopefully we can have one newsletter that solves both equations, keeps everybody happy, and those people who aren't happy, like, go away. It's fine. If you're gonna be upset that we're trying to simplify our business and like make things easier on ourselves, go away. Go away.
I feel like you went from 0 to 60. Like, you didn't, like, you could have just been like, if you're upset, like,
No, go away.
you just were like, go away.
Go away.
Speaking of that, before I forget, I wanted to bring up one newsletter that actually landed in my inbox this morning, and this is one of the few newsletters that I'm subscribed to, and their layout, I think, could give us some ideas of kind of how our stuff
Should
would
you
work.
be recording your screen so I can show some of this stuff? Guys, also, relationships, super easy. Communication, easy. Also,
Where did that just come from?
just the thing. Like that, because we were joking. We were like, that was like a little jokey thing that we did.
Oh my god, I thought you just...
Is this the newsletter you like? This looks like crap.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, it does not look like crap. Second of all, just hold your horses.
Okay.
Just because it has like regular serif text.
It's hard to hold the horses. Hard to hold the horses.
Did you see me do Jim from The Office?
No, what'd you do?
When he looks at the camera. That's always, it's good for comedy. Okay,
You're recording?
new screen recording.
Yeah.
I don't need audio or anything, right?
Nah.
Just do this.
Yeah.
People are gonna see all my things.
Click. It's fine. I literally only ever crop in the screen because your dock gives me anxiety, so I have to crop it out.
It's real bad right now too.
Yeah.
Just, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay, so these are the brand is called Intelligent Change, and they're the people that make like the 5-minute journal, which is like the gratitude journal and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so they have this newsletter called Intelligent Tuesday, and I just like first of all, it's always quality content, and it's kind of quick hits. So they have like an image, but see, they have like article. They share different articles, podcast episodes, things like that basically bring more intention and stuff to your life, but it's usually around something like habit building or gratitude, or it's interesting. So they'll have like an article, video, podcast. So they'll kind of usually do like one featured one and then different links or whatever. It's usually like 5, I think.
Yep.
They've gradually added or removed stuff over time, like good news of the week or whatever.
Yep.
But it's just, it's quick hits. So in my mind, I know in the past we've done these very like long, both of us like doing basically the article format and an email format. We can't obviously do that if we're going to combine forces because it would just be too long. So my idea is like, let's just say we send it out on Mondays because that's what our audience is used to, and I love starting the week off.
Yep.
Where it's like your action article, your mindset article. Yours is the action article, or we could even do the like your how-to article, your why-to article, and then podcast episode. So let's say podcast episodes go up on Monday. Mm-hmm. And so those are like the 3 quick hits kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And so it's like a short description, kind of like our Webwame posts or Webwame emails have been.
I think my only hesitation, which is an assumption, is that both of us have used email as our kind of like community comments box. So when we send out an email that's long or detailed or whatever, people reply and we have the conversation there. And I feel like with the content not being in the email anymore and going to a post, we're not going to get those replies.
I totally get that, but what else? What's the other option?
I don't know. That's why we're here to brainstorm.
The only other option that I see is we trade days. Like we have different days, and we do Jason on Mondays and Caroline on Thursdays or whatever.
Yeah, or we just do one day per week still, and it's like, hey, here's the newsletter that we wanted to share, and maybe predominantly that would be written by you, and then like I have like, or we have an action taking area of like something that's helping us or a thing that we're doing or something we want to reference. Like maybe that's more of like a link, but there is still kind of like a newsletter of like what's going on, what we're working on, the lesson that we're learning, the thing, whatever. And then we also have like, maybe a link to an article that we want to talk about that's like a guide or whatever, and then also the podcast. Just throwing that out there. So we would still do some semblance of a newsletter that's more of like, here's what's going on, and then, or here's what's went on this past week, and then also like, here's a link to go read something if you want, and then here's a podcast episode. So the difference is instead of linking to that first one, it's like in there so that people can reply and have the conversation. Mm-hmm.
I like that. But then is that me?
Well, it could alternate. Mm-hmm. We could decide like there
or
are definitely. Or we
could write it together. Like it could totally be like a, signed by Jason and Caroline type thing.
Yeah. I just feel like the easy way out is to link to articles and anyone can do that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think what we really want I think that's the thing. Like let's get to the
intention.
The root of what we want is. It's still a place where we have a conversation with people, and it's still a place where we want to hear back directly on these things, and I don't want to send someone out and then know that they're not going to come back, and then like, maybe they read it and they're like, oh, this is amazing, but they're not writing back anymore. And I think it's kind of interesting too, if predominantly it's written by you, let's just say that for sake of this discussion, I just have little interstitials that I add. Like we played around with that with the Vibrant Stuff bundle of like my little commentary throughout
Jason
the thing.
here, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Link to article or guide, and then link to episode. Now, that's another question is, do we want the episodes to go up on the same day so that we can link to them, or do we want those to go up on a separate day and then you can kind of opt into like episode updates? That gets more complicated, obviously.
I think we keep it simple, and I think for now we just do one newsletter because let's just get the ball rolling here, and
Yeah.
let's just have this go, and then we'll figure out if everyone's like, oh, I wish there was an email dedicated to that, like we can change it. So,
All right, so let's talk about action steps on that. Like, we need to kind of come up with a template,
yep,
drip template.
content calendar for it. Which we've used before. If you guys have never seen, we've talked about this before. It's just a very simple spreadsheet that's like article title, when it's due by, who's writing it in this instance, when it's
Well,
going
now
to
it's
be
in
published.
Airtable, but yeah.
Yeah. I can link to my example content calendar. It'll be a Google sheet, but you'll get the idea.
What else we need to do? We need to like go through drip and just sit down and do all the workflow stuff and like kind of hash that out.
Yeah. We also need to figure out if we're going to do a welcome email and what that looks like. So if we want to, because I think those are kind of the action steps on the actual email going out. But I think what we need to talk about is what does it look like when someone signs up?
Well, remember we did talk about this before of working to live sequence.
Right.
Okay.
So we just need to like,
Actually fall through with that.
right.
Which, by the way, we need to re-record that.
Yes. Got it.
Okay. So that's the newsletter.
Cool.
So when do we think, let's just play with dates here.
Let's play with them.
If we're gonna aim to have, I don't think we shared even our like internal launch date with everyone, but didn't we discuss trying to launch like the week of June 25th?
The week of June 20th is the date that we put on the calendar.
That's a Wednesday.
Yeah. So maybe it was the 19th, but we just said, so like if you go forward in the calendar, we
I
have,
just don't know how realistic that is with,
I don't either.
let's just say the 25th is the first day that we're gonna send that out. As in,
Yeah, the problem is if that's the first week that we're launching, that's a really tough week. We're putting ourselves behind a holiday 8-ball. That's why we picked the week before.
I mean, okay. All right, well then I'll write,
So let's just say the 18th is the goal. Listen, I totally hear you. I'm on the same page, but I think we should try and fight for that and we'll see what happens.
okay, we'll fight for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay?
okay,
Okay.
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 I'm just thinking to myself also that puts us in a situation where we're kind of like launching in the middle of each month. So it could be a situation where also if the website is ready by then, maybe it's closed and then we open it up. We give ourselves 2 weeks to lead up to it, you know?
Yeah.
Although you kind of miss the buzz of like having the new website, you know?
I have to open the window. It's too hot.
You're hot?
Oh, yeah. It's
I think you have like a temperature regulation issue.
I need to be a bird. I need to be able to thermoregulate.
Birds thermoregulate?
Yeah, that's what their feathers do.
What about dogs?
Dogs also thermoregulate through their feet.
Why not people?
Because we're dumb. We're the most advanced, but we're the dumbest. We can't thermoregulate.
That's because as we get more brain power up here, our like biology systems.
We're the only mammal that like can't fend for itself when it's born. It's ridiculous. Okay.
It's because we need love. Okay. So we're gonna work on that. I will, after this meeting, I'm gonna take a little bit of follow-up time and get into a sauna and just like try to schedule out what to do.
Yeah.
And maybe we can set aside some time. Like, I mean, is it something where you want to like re-record Working to Live this weekend? Maybe.
Yeah, we could potentially do that.
Okay. We didn't even Yeah, we didn't even do like a working to live page on the website, but I'm guessing we'll just use that in the page template, the regular page template.
Well, we have the whole working to live article that lives on my site.
I know. But the way that I was thinking about it is like if we break it into 4 different, like a 4-day email sequence, aren't you thinking that somebody goes and watches the video? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's for another discussion.
Okay.
My brain hurt on that one.
All right, so now do you want to talk about failed payments?
Not yet. I want to talk about how we think the newsletter is going to look.
Oh.
Do we think it's going to have much design? Do we think it's going to have not very much design?
I mean, I think not over designed, because I do think that the more newslettery you start to look, the less conversational it feels. Mm-hmm. I think something like the Wubwame newsletter template, like with a simple header and like some styled buttons and stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like...
Or maybe, sorry.
You ask a question and you get to have an answer. I feel like simple header, very much like Dear John letter. And
You know that's a phrase that means like breaking up, right? A Dear John letter is like
well,
breaking
that's
up.
what you guys are gonna get. Sorry, we're breaking up with you. And then at the I think at the bottom, once we have that, it's the podcast episode, which is like a preview image and a button to go watch it.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking also, like on our designs, how we have the body of an article or whatever, and then we have hold please.
The different image between us.
Like the background that kind of is like more.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm thinking. We could have tiles that are like podcast episode, article.
Okay.
Not just like that, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying the body of the email itself.
Well, I don't mind if it looks something similar to that, because that'll get people conditioned to what it looks like on the website, so you'll kind of be used to it.
Okay. Well, you hesitated.
Visual conditioning, ladies and gentlemen.
You hesitated, so I just got nervous, and I was like,
No,
it doesn't have to be that.
Don't get nervous.
Okay.
Okay. Newsletter. We have a plan. Look at that.
Yeah, just in time for Drip to come out with their visual template builder.
I know. The only problem with the visual template builder I found is that it's only center aligned.
Yeah, but you can manually manipulate that, can't you?
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
You can just hard code text line.
Whoa, talking about hard code and watch language.
Yeah, and also I did notice that, and you can't save a template. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't look that far into it. I literally clicked once.
Maybe I didn't look
add
too
some
far
stuff,
into it either.
and then I was like,
All right, I'm gonna put time on my calendar to just play around with it.
Okay. Okay, Mrs. Weingard.
That's not how you say my previous last name, just saying.
Okay.
Jason does this thing where he likes to mispronounce words, and then he does it so many times that I start to mispronounce them.
Like your own last name.
Well, my own last name doesn't work, but like Telsa.
Tulsa.
And then you say it out loud, and then I start to get self-conscious because I think other people think that you don't know how to pronounce Tesla.
I don't know how to pronounce words. Get over it, everybody. All right. If you don't like it, get out of here.
And if you don't like it,
That's how I
Get
deal
on
with
out.
things. Okay, I have currently opened up our Wandering Aimfully WordPress backend so that we can start the conversation of failed payments and things.
Okay.
So I'm going to move from there, and I'm going to move to our Restrict Content Pro settings. And I am specifically going to go into the emails page.
I'm there.
Let's start out with one piece of this puzzle. So, Restrict Content Pro will send emails on our behalf through a very simple, not very good looking template.
Right.
And I can show you what that looks like. And so it looks like this. This is kind of what it looks like. You literally control nothing on this except for this
Ew.
image. Yeah, it's bad. So this would be like, hey, your payment has failed, and I don't know what's
it's
in
not
here.
that bad. Like, I just think it's not a good logo for it.
Yeah, you can't.
Did you make that?
You can't do a PNG.
Did you make that?
No, you made a horizontal logo and gave it to me.
That's not.
Yeah, that's a lot of children outside. Okay, so step one on this is we could use Postmark, which will cost, I think, $10 per month to use, and that will let us customize the emails in whatever we want. I don't know how it works,
Period.
period. I know they have a WordPress plugin that's like involved with this, so we would just have to like figure some of this stuff out. But Paul Jarvis, who also uses Restrict Content Pro, doesn't like those emails, uses Postmark. We could probably get a little bit of help from him. He could show us some of the things that he does. But essentially what I think it does is I think you still use these emails, and then Postmark is smart enough to know that these emails are being sent through there. So we could use that or not use that is kind of the first topic of discussion, is if you care enough.
The only reason to use Postmark is if you care about the design of the email and how it looks.
It's the design, and then it's also who the email is from. So it's this DKIM stuff. So like, it's not actually coming from Hello at Wandering Aimfully. It's coming through whatever this like mail service is that they use on the back end. Apparently, you know, that's the whole thing with all of this, is like, if our email is trusted by people, it should be able to get through faster and whatever.
Got it.
That's kind of the gist of why.
I mean, do they have a free trial, Postmark?
Start a free trial.
I think it's worth looking into, like starting a free trial and maybe setting it up and just seeing what the emails look like for $10 a month to have like a nice experience for someone, and then also to ensure that maybe it gets through better.
Yeah. Okay, well, then I think if we're going to do that, we should sit down and we can do that together, and we can sit side by side and kind of like get that going, install it, set it up, see how it works, and we'll just kind of collab on that so we're both on the same page with it.
Cool.
Okay, so that's
another setup time.
Yep.
Stuff. Okay.
But hopefully it should literally be like 30 minutes to an hour. Like, we literally learned Restrict Content Pro in about an hour once we sat down and just went through it. So.
Yeah.
Yay for learning.
So much learning.
So much learning.
Okay.
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 All right.
But, okay, so that's the email stuff.
Yep.
Now,
Okay, I'm gonna close this.
but I'm still confused about, Postmark is not like a Dunning company. It's just a website.
Postmark
Yeah.
is just an email interface.
Right,
That's
like a
all that
third-party
is.
email thing.
Right.
Okay.
So now if we're shifting gears to Dunning, which is payment recovery process, Restrict Content Pro is going to do this on our behalf for the credit card payments.
This is strange because in the Restrict Content Pro settings, it says from email. Hello at Wandering Aimfully.
Yes. All that is just putting
Yes.
the like from name. It's not changing like where the email is being sent from, our domain.
That's misleading.
Yeah. Well, it's just because I think explaining DKIM there is not helpful.
Okay. So this was active subscription email.
Right. So we don't have any of these filled out yet. So
So did this, because we don't have this disabled, did people get like a random empty email?
no, it's not a random empty email. So here I have some of these emails. So like new subscription. So it's like this is the email that this person got when they signed up. So like this would have been their name. This would have been their username. This is now subscribed. I
So
think that's-
someone did get that email?
Hold your horses, Carol. Hold your horses. It's just really confusing.
I mean, it's not confusing.
Well, I swear I saved. I'm pretty sure they get an email, and I'm pretty sure it's just that simple.
But this, okay, so active subscription email is what I'm looking at, and there's nothing in the body here.
I understand that. Because I think that's adding extra things to it.
This is what it looks like though. It says preview email, there's nothing in it.
Okay. Where do I find the like member emails, email settings? Guys, how excited are you for this part of this video?
Well, I'm just confused about, I feel like you are maybe clued into something that I am not clued into. Like, I don't even really know what you're looking for right now.
I'm looking to see like when they, like if these emails are set up with information automatically is what I'm looking for. And I guess maybe the answer is that I'm just so confused.
You could also just pop into Slack and ask people if they got an email. Because based on my understanding of this interface, if you don't want them to send emails, you have to disable it. You have to click the checkbox that disables it.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's your email. La 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 la.
Fables, come back.
Well, I'm trying to look into this here. I'm trying to see if I can search one of these emails to see if they got anything. And I'm guessing the fact that I am not seeing anything means that people didn't get an email. So
Why
confusing.
aren't you seeing? What do you mean you're looking for something that you saw?
Because I made purchases of Wandering Aimfully when we were in pre-order status as a full purchaser with a credit card.
So were you under the impression people were getting emails?
Yes. I'm under the impression that someone got an email that says, you now have a subscription to Wandering Aimfully. Very simple email like we were just looking at. I'm under that impression because we did not turn the emails off in here.
I wasn't under that impression.
Yeah. That is the impression that...
Well, it doesn't matter for the past. Why don't we just talk about going forward? Do we want them to get an email? The answer is yes.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, and you're saying that if we do postmark that you think that it goes through this Restrict Content Pro.
I think so. And then I think
Do
you just
you,
customize
as an action
these.
item, maybe want to talk to Paul about that, about like what his workflow is?
I can. I did before, and I got a very, like, not definitive answer. I can try again.
Hey, it's okay.
No, it's just frustrating to me because it's like there's no clear answer on Restrict Content Pro's help documentation, and so I'm frustrated by that. And then I'm also frustrated with just like there's so many things that go along with this failed payment stuff, and I'm already thinking ahead about the PayPal side of it, so it's frustrating.
Don't think ahead.
I know.
Just
Let's-
take it one step at a
It's
time.
just hard for my brain not to.
I
I will
know.
do my best. Okay. I'm here. Let's go. I'm ready. Note for me to talk to Paul. Where are you going with your little smiley face?
You went to a whole place by yourself over there.
That tends to happen.
And I get that it's frustrating, but like you don't have to do this alone. Like we're here together, so.
No, I'm not trying to do it alone. I'm just
Well, you
trying
were
to
just
figure it out
sort
for
of like
myself.
in a frenzy in a place.
What can I say? I'm a little frenzied every once in a while.
Okay, so the question here is, here's in my mind what we should do. Figure out what we want the experience to be, and then figure out reverse engineer that.
Sure.
How to do that.
Sure.
So, do we want someone to get an email? First, my question is, does someone get a Stripe receipt email?
Yes. 100%
So I don't.
yes.
So like, I don't want it to be too. They're getting a welcome email from us. They're getting a Stripe receipt. I don't think they need a confirmed subscription receipt.
Cool. So we will turn that off. So active subscription email. Check this to disable the email sent out when their subscription becomes active. So we're checking that box.
Yeah.
Do we want an email when their subscription becomes active? I think yes. So I'll leave that on.
Okay.
Cool? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit save, and we're gonna go step by step, and we are gonna make it happen.
So my question is, when you got those expiration emails earlier today,
Yeah.
where did those come from?
They came from Restrict Content Pro.
Here?
Yeah, but there's nothing in the email, right? That's what I'm telling you.
Okay,
So
so
it's-
that would be under the canceled subscription, expired subscription?
Yep. That's why I was trying to explain, like, it does populate information automatically, even if there's nothing in there. confusing.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Okay.
What that tells me is that they probably did get an email.
Right.
I would reach out to one of the 4 people that we talked about today.
Okay. Well, you put that on the list, and I'll do that after.
Okay. Because if they did, we just need, like, maybe what we should do right now is just go and disable everything from a user's perspective.
And here's the
then
thing.
reactivate.
Rachel said she did not get an email, and she was one of the people who her payment got expired.
Well, I think it's worth double checking.
I will. It's on the list to do.
Then can I disable all of these?
Let's go through them one by one.
Okay. Active subscription email. No.
That is disabled.
You just did that?
Yes.
Canceled subscription email.
Canceled subscription email. Check this to disable the email sent to a member when their subscription is canceled. I think they should get that email because that's confirmation that they've canceled.
I just wish that we could we need to set up like a test account because I wish we could just test all of this from the perspective of a user.
Yeah, the problem is that it's like you almost need an account for each one because it's like once you change the status of an account, like if I canceled, it just gets confusing to like track along. Anyway.
I remember this from Color Your Soul. It's like impossible to.
Yeah. Okay. So I think they should get an email for when their subscription is canceled. So do you want to write something custom for this right now?
What's the difference between cancel? So this is when they cancel.
Right.
Not when they're expired.
Right. Or if we cancel their thing, if they email us and they're like, hey, I want to cancel.
So yeah, we'll just want to, so then as an action item, write canceled email.
Okay. So we're keeping that one on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Expired email. So this is sort of the Dunning thing of like.
This is not Dunning. This is just that their subscription expired. So it tried to charge their card 3 or 4 times, which is what I was trying to figure out when we first started talking about this, and I don't know exactly what that setup is yet. It should be sending them emails every time it tries to charge them, and when it doesn't work, then it sends this email because it expires.
How is that not Dunning?
Because this email is like the end of that process.
Yeah.
Dunning is the actual process itself.
Sure. But that's what I meant. So I just meant this is a part of the process of trying to recover a failed payment.
Yes.
And then it's the very end of that. Like we didn't recover it.
Yes.
So we should do we want this to be the mechanism that sends that?
Okay, so let's then talk about the options here before we say yes or no on this.
Okay.
So can you help me find in Restrict Content Pro where it talks about how many times it tries to recover failed payments? Because I just tried to search and I couldn't find it, and then I got frustrated, and then everyone at home had to see me get frustrated.
I don't know why you're so frustrated. We can take a breath if you need to.
No, it's just, this stuff just frustrates me because it's so
Well, then
complex.
I'll do it. Like, it doesn't need to be in your...
We're doing it together.
But it's not fun for me when you're frustrated about it.
I mean, sometimes life isn't fun, you know?
I just don't like seeing you all with your panties in a wad. What?
Well, first of all, I wear underwear, not panties, because I'm an adult.
If you did wear panties, it'd be okay. We're in the help docs, folks. Payment is taken from automatically during each billing. Blah, 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 blah. The user will receive the renewal payment failed email. So that's under here. Renewal, free subscription email, trial subscription email, payment received email, renewal payment failed email.
Yep.
They will receive that. In order for the email to be sent out, the email subject and body must be filled out.
Okay.
So that answers our question about the emails not being sent. So you can put in like update card. Your
Right, so they have all those
gateway may
shortcodes.
attempt to bill the card again, depending on your settings. So in the Stripe dashboard,
Yep.
So we just have to look into whether we don't want Stripe and Restrict Content Pro to be
Right. So
bothering them.
that's what I was saying. There's multiple ways that we can do this. So Stripe now has a payment recovery thing that but it has emails attached. That right there doesn't have emails attached.
Yeah.
That just retries is all it does. They now have a thing called billing, which will send an email if we want, or we send the emails through Restrict Content Pro. Now this is also where I brought up Churnbuster, which is the service that we use for Teachery, and the advantage between, let's go Churnbuster and Restrict Content Pro, is that Churnbuster has nice graphs and charts and shows you how many people you've recovered, what...
Do you ever look at those?
I've looked at them a couple times, and it also sends you a report, I think like once a month, and it's like, hey, we've recovered $500 for you, and like, you know, annual, like $1,200 in annual payments or something, which is nice to see. I'm guessing Stripe Billing does the same, but I haven't looked into it at all as a service.
I'm just trying to streamline because already in this conversation we have Restrict Content Pro, we have Stripe, we have Postmark, and now if we add Churnbuster to that, it's like suddenly the web is becoming a little bit too tangled for my taste.
Yeah, I hear you. So you want to just use the renewed fail payment email in Restrict Content Pro?
I'm feeling like maybe we should.
Okay.
Like maybe RCP plus Postmark, and we see how just that goes
Okay.
for now. And then we just turn everything off on Stripe.
Yeah, it's already...
It's off?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you have to turn the billing on to send emails. It automatically turns on the retries. When a subscription's set, it has a retry schedule set up.
But do we want the retries and the emails?
Yes, because the emails are triggered by Stripe's retries. So they're sent based on this schedule. Folks, this is why you do a membership community, because it's easy.
You build it, you charge it, you make the money, you run away.
It's really easy.
If the member's account reaches its expiration date and payment has still not been received, the member's account status will be changed to expired. That's what we got. Okay, so this is what I think. This is my takeaway. We're gonna, once again, put time on the calendar to write all these emails out.
Yep.
We're gonna add a logo that looks a little bit better. Oh, we're gonna format them in Postmark, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna start a trial with Postmark.
Yep.
We're gonna write the emails for all of the different scenarios.
Yep.
And we're gonna fill them all out.
Yep.
We're gonna make sure the Stripe settings are, that's what you're doing right now.
Right. So the way that this is set up right now is smart retries. So retry failed payment at the optimal times powered by Stripe's machine learning. Retry up to 4 times within 3 weeks. Then finally mark the subscription as unpaid.
Which will trigger the email.
Each retry
No.
should trigger the email. Is what I'm hearing from them. So with the Stripe webhook, the way that it works is Stripe will essentially say, user has a subscription that renews on the 2nd of every month. It's the 2nd of the month. I'm gonna go try and get the money from the user. Oop, nope, it failed. Comes back to me, hey, this didn't work. Okay, I'm also hooked into Restrict Content Pro. Hey, Restrict Content Pro,
Send an email.
I got a failed thing. You need to send an email. Restrict Content Pro sends an email. In the email, it has like the billing thing.
Update your card.
You update your card, it charges, hopefully it charges, that then goes to Stripe because that's how the charge goes through. Stripe sees like, oh, hey, this is a charge for this user, I should go tell Restrict Content Pro. They then update. That's how it should work.
But I'm thinking if you're telling them to try 4 times within 3 weeks, that person could get 4 emails.
Oh, absolutely. That's what they need to get.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the option here is, while we're looking at this, we can change this to what this looks like. So this is the old way, which is you can retry at a certain thing, or we can let Stripe's machine learning pick the optimal times to send the emails. Decisions on decisions on decisions.
I just like the control of being able to say every 2 days.
Okay, so you want to send it this way? All right, so we'll stick with that.
So they get, just to clue you guys in, we've basically told Stripe, retry 3 days after the fail payment, then 5 days, then 7 days. So they get 3 chances, and then it's officially marked as unpaid, and then basically your subscription gets canceled. Make sense?
Right.
Okay, so that's Stripe.
So what's, yeah.
That noise that you just made.
Well, there's just some other stuff in here too. So while I'm in here, do you want to send an email 1 month before their card on file expires through Stripe?
No.
You don't want to let someone know that their card...
Oh, I was like, 1 month before their card expires would be when their membership starts. No, but you're saying 1 month before their expiration date.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is what the email will look like. This is coming
Great.
through Stripe.
Cool.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not too confusing that sometimes they're getting Stripe updates and sometimes they're getting...
Yeah. URL to update card. So this should be /billing. Oh, that's confusing because that's on a different domain right now.
This is what I'm so nervous about, is like when we switch that over to wanderingaimfully.com, like...
Yeah, so I'm not going to turn that on until we
Yeah.
turn the site on.
But I just think it's also a complete side note. Should we keep a running tally of like places where we need to update that URL?
Yes, but not right now. If we want to put time on the calendar next week, we can look at that if you want to do that. Okay, I made it on my calendar, so I'm not going to turn that expiring cards thing on.
While I'm thinking about it, does Ben know the time frame of stuff?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just a little confused on how Restrict Content Pro's dates work with this stuff, but I think we're just gonna have to see it happen. So specific example, those people that we went and fixed their expired things today, you set their expiration to be the 3rd of next month. If this retries on the 3rd and fails, does their subscription expire?
So you're saying, let's say it was on the 2nd, was their like payment date, their card failed for whatever reason, retry 3 days after. Well, I think in the interim they would have been expired.
But that doesn't make sense though, because I think we're just gonna have to see it happen in real time to figure out what's gonna happen.
I think so too.
Confusing dates, yes, awesome. All right, I'm closing that. Some of these things, we're just gonna.
Well, we can also create like, I can do the persona thing that I did in Airtable too, where we like have fake personas where we say like, let's say someone paid on this date, and so we can play around with that. It's just, we can't do it right now where it's not the time to do that. It's like more of a solo thinking type of a thing.
It is not the time.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so.
So that's kind of the email situation. So
well, we didn't keep going through these, did we?
well, I just said put time on the calendar to write all the emails because we decided we're gonna do those.
Okay, so we'll just go through these at a different
I'm
time.
gonna do
then.
that. You're not gonna do this anymore.
Well, no, I mean, I think we should just at least go through it together so that I understand how it's working.
That's fine, but I just need time by myself to figure that out, and
Okay.
it's pointless to go through it right now.
Okay, so the other question here is that takes care of dunning on how we're handling dunning for credit cards. So for PayPal, we have the other outlier here.
Cool.
Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, 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 bum. Okay.
Do you know how this works?
So I asked Restrict Content Pro how failed payments works because it doesn't work like Stripe, where they
With
give you
PayPal.
like a schedule that you can change like we just did that said 3 days after, 5 days after, etc. So they wrote back and they said, we're not 100% sure how PayPal handles this. Either we get mixed results with subscriptions. Sometimes PayPal sends an email that says we cannot process the following recurring payment. We'll try again in 5 days. Sometimes they get a subject that say automatic emails were suspended, and that goes to the creator, and it says automatic payments from person's name have failed X amount of times. As a result, we won't attempt to process these payments again. Please contact your customer to collect an outstanding balance. It just seems like that PayPal is going to retry on its own schedule, and
Cross that
that's-
bridge when we come to it.
that's kind of it. And I don't know how.
But you'll get an email that says that it hasn't gone through or that it's been suspended.
I can tell you that when Restrict Content Pro gets IPNs with the action recurring payment failed or recurring payment suspended due to max failed payment from PayPal, the user's status gets set to expired and the renewal payment failed email will get sent out if you have that configured.
Yeah. So then you'll get the email that says this person's thing is expired. They'll get the email that says you.
Payment failed.
Right. So then that's fine.
Right.
So we just have to trust that their system is going to do what it's going to do to try to recover the payment. And that's all we can do.
Okay, so the other outlier here, this is why this is so fun and so tricky. Do you remember where our IPN is? I think it's in business settings. PayPal, you taking too long to load.
Well, our IPN's in here
Where is it?
in Restrict Content Pro.
Right, I was trying to figure out what are we doing? Like, oh man. Selling tools, is that what it is? So
I'm telling you this right now, we have got to take time to write in a Google Doc the documentation of what we've done with all this stuff.
yeah.
Because I literally just went through and I was like, wait, what did we do with the IPN?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out because
No, I remember what it was.
so it's set up to Restrict Content Pro right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is the way that we need it to be set up. Okay, so the reason why I brought this up is because we purchased that $99 plugin from that guy that was a drip add-on that was supposed to take the PayPal information and automatically add a new member and do those things. But he can't get it to work. He wrote me back and he was like, still haven't made any progress on this. I'll refund you. Like, I can't figure out how to make it work, whatever. So my question to you is, with his side of this not working,
Is PayPal even worth it?
is PayPal even worth it? / what are the steps that we have to take if we have PayPal and it is worth it? Whew.
Well, it's the same thing as we did before.
Just making sure it's still recording.
Doing
So
it
it's-
manually.
Okay, so his plugin is not currently working and wasn't working when we did the manual or the.
Which is my whole point of like, it's been a month now and we didn't write down what we did. But I remember like the Zapier would come through to the Airtable.
Right. We would see the payment come through.
We would see the payment come through.
So we would need to take those next steps with that person, which was.
I don't remember.
Okay.
What were the steps?
Yeah. So I think it was creating them as a member.
Was it? Was it? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
I don't remember creating them manually as a user.
No, because with the IPN set for Restrict Content Pro, when a PayPal payment comes through, they become a member. But all they do is become a member.
We had to add them to Drip. We had a manual trigger.
We had to add them to Drip.
Holy jeez. Okay, I'm creating a Word doc right now.
A Word doc? Why would you create a Word doc of all the things to do? Why would you do that to yourself? Ew.
I'm going to download Microsoft Word. I'm going to create a Word doc.
Just for this problem.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. You're really upset. You're more upset than I was a minute ago.
I'm so mad at us for figuring all of that out and not writing it down anywhere.
Well, that's what happens. Okay, so I'm going to, while you do that, I'm going to ask this guy for a refund then.
Yeah. Guys, it's not easy, I'll tell you what. There are just so many, when it's just the two of you, when it's just the one of you even.
Whew,
So many things. Okay.
I mean, sometimes I
I
feel
did
like...
write it down somewhere. Where did I write it down?
Sometimes I do feel like it's just the one of us though, because I just get so frustrated with this stuff that you end up doing it. And so it's really not like there's two of us. It's really just like there's one of us.
I do everything.
Yeah. Yeah, without you, I'm not sure how not sure how this ship would float, you know?
You said it on me.
Hold on. Hold on for dear life. What's her name? Ruth? No. Draw me like one of your French girls. What is that?
Rose.
Rose. Yeah. Is that from the movie?
It's from a movie.
What movie?
Titanic.
Yeah. I'm good
But
at
the
movies.
quote that you used,
Yeah.
that's not a thing.
That's not at that time when he's on the plank? Or there's no room for him on the
Never
plank?
let go is what you were looking for.
Oh no, I was drawing me like your French girls, but like
No,
while
I
he's
know,
holding
but remember the original quote? You were like, hold on, Ruth.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all,
Titanic
Not-
quotes by Jason. Yeah. All right, cool.
hold on, Ruth.
Hold on a second there, Ruth. Where are you going? You out of here? All right, bye, Ruth. See you, Ruth.
Okay.
We're supposed to be done in 10 minutes. Do we have a whole other topic we have to talk about?
Yeah, but it's just content migration.
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one. Hey. I wonder if people actually like watching like these stressful meetings where like we don't know what we're doing.
I'm really mad at you because I was not stressed out until you're making this more complicated than it needs to be.
Listen, I was stressed out just with this meeting in general, so it was doomed to fail.
Yeah, you brought that energy to the table.
I could have told you that was going to happen.
Do you want me to be the new Restrict Content Pro like person?
No,
The keeper of the castle?
no.
Okay, well then you need to check your attitude at the door when you
I
do
mean,
this stuff.
I'm trying to check myself before I wreck myself. I really am.
You did, but you didn't do a good job.
All right, are you going to write this out right now?
No, I just was like getting it started. We didn't talk about is it worth PayPal?
Okay, let's come back to that and then let's move to content migration because I really do want to try and keep this. I have no clue if anyone's watched this far, so let's just keep going. Is it worth doing PayPal? Is the question. So 40% of our pre-order members
More through PayPal.
use PayPal.
But again, the data is skewed on this.
Right, because if PayPal
if
wasn't an option,
you don't know how many of those people would have just paid with a credit card.
right. So
I swear, sometimes I think people just use PayPal because they don't want to put in their credit card number. They're
think-
sitting at their desk, they don't have it by them. Like I do that sometimes. I'm just
Yeah.
like, ugh, PayPal.
yeah. So my thought is that it's no extra work for us right now to keep PayPal.
True.
The only extra work are two things. One, every time a new person signs up, when we do a launch every month, we have to go through and add their things, which literally takes 2 minutes per person. It's
yeah.
not a big deal. We just have to pay attention to it.
To me, the only downside of that is overnight. If we have,
Right.
they don't get their
Which is
stuff
fine.
right away.
Which is I don't think it's a huge problem. Then we have to deal with the like failed payment, that type of thing.
We don't. But my point is, we don't have to deal with it.
Right. I'm just thinking like we're racking up people who are going to have PayPal and we don't know how that process works. So like if it happens with 4, we could probably figure it out. If it's going to happen with 20, it's going to be a lot more work to go through it. So I think it's just a matter of, do we agree we should leave PayPal on, make it easy for people to buy?
And how about this? Let's set a max. If we get to a place where we've had to track down 10 people, 10 PayPal people to re-up their payments, then we're just like, we're out.
All right, sticking with PayPal. 10 people is our line drawn in the sand. We're calling it good. I was hoping that pause would give like one good snore. A little like baby snores going on right now.
Okay.
Content migration?
Yeah.
Also, if you stuck with it this long, leave a comment below and tell us that you stuck with it to this point.
Tell us why. Tell us what you're trying to avoid and procrastinate in your life that you stuck around this long.
What conversation like this you're not having so that you
exactly.
can... Yeah. All right,
Okay.
content migration.
So wait, can I just do a recap? So we can agree that basically I'm going to write down the documentation for
Yes.
that. And then also we're going to put time on the calendar to write out all the emails.
Yes.
This could also be a thing where I could just write what emails you need to write and you can write them and then I can worry about putting them in and stuff.
Sure.
And we're going to do the free trial of Postmark.
Yes.
And you're going to reach out to Paul and see how he has that set up.
Yes.
Okay. Those are the things.
Okay. Ugh.
Something cracked.
I know. My neck got stuck for a second. It's all right.
Ew.
I'll just get a new one.
Your
I'll get a new one.
reaction to your neck is stuck is to go like that.
What did I do?
Mine.
Good one. Sleep or awake? Eyes are open.
Eyes are open.
Sleep. Sleep.
My reaction is to freeze, and yours is to just like
Fight through it.
yeah,
Just snap through it.
snap.
Snap through it, bro.
Ew, remember in Deadpool when his head was all the way around?
Spoilers. Okay, content migration.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
At some point, we need to go through all of these pages, and I think it would just be good to each of us just look at the pages
You're
and
on
discuss.
all old pages.
Yeah,
Okay.
and to like at least go through with these and say like, yes, we need this. No, we don't need this, and do that. Do you want to just go through that right now and just like rapid fire, like make some decisions on these? Not exactly
Of like how they're gonna live on the new site.
right. Like,
yeah.
are they going to live? Are they going to go away? What's going to happen? Okay, can we do that? So maybe in the new Wame slug, if the page is going away, we just write delete or redirect.
Can we just do notes for right now?
Sure, bro. I'd
I'm
love
gonna
to
do
do
long
notes.
text and then we can create a new slug if they.
I'm
Okay.
glad we get to go through Made Vibrant pages first since there are so many.
All right.
Okay.
So this thank you page was just the set segment for the. We're not gonna have a segmentation for our email sign up.
No.
So delete.
So no, we don't want to delete any pages. We want to redirect them. I just said delete, but I meant redirect.
But like, it's a thank you page.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If Google sees that pages it's trying to, like people are, even if it's 2 people, it's going to throw a red
But
flag.
how would people even try to get to that page?
They still have the page open or something. It's just better to redirect.
Okay, and then where's it gonna redirect to?
So this is just so I would say this just goes to the home page. Or just to the Made Vibrant page.
Okay. Ooh, what is sign up?
That's probably just your newsletter catch-all would be my guess.
Is it sign dash up?
Yeah. Yeah, newsletter sign up.
No, it's the slate. It's not like my newsletter page.
Oh.
It's basically like the page on the index.
You know what's interesting? I found that people started going to /register on my page because they were looking for emails, the email page. Super weird.
That was weird.
Yeah. So yeah, I would just have that redirect to our newsletter, just in case anyone has that.
Good idea.
Thank you.
So this will go to Made Vibrant.
Yep.
The blog will go to Made Vibrant, right?
Will it go to Made Vibrant or will it go to your category of articles written by you?
Can you have a specific query for that?
Yeah, I think so.
So is our blog catch-all page going to be at /articles?
Yes.
So /articles, let's just say it's like,
Question mark Made Vibrant, if that's the category.
okay. About Made Vibrant.
Yep.
Join Self-Made Society, we'll just do newsletter.
Yep.
So here's the interesting thing. I'm thinking that maybe I should create a page for each of these classes using the blank page template
Yep.
and just say like
They have their own little,
this is available inside Wandering Aimfully.
but it explains what it is. Yeah. So we'll still just have those pages then.
Right. So it'll be wanderingaimfully.com/acrylic explorations.
Yep.
Okay. So then /classes maybe should go to
The Wandering Aimfully membership. So join.
join. So better lettering. Should I just redirect that to
The better lettering site.
site?
Yep.
Connecting with your core.
So that should have its own page.
I'm thinking, yeah, and we'll probably create that as a workshop page, which will do the restrict content pro settings thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Do you know? No, I need you to know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You like how I did that, guys?
You said
Nailed it.
sure, which means I don't know what you're saying.
It's not true. That was actually a very assertive sure.
So we'll do drawings. I'm
Sure.
gonna have to create all these. Digital declutter. That's a workshop.
And all these workshops, do they need to be re-filmed at some point?
What do you mean?
Like, is it in low quality crowdcast?
Some of them.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
To me, that's a separate conversation for us of
Yeah.
like what's inside Wandering Aimfully and what needs to be redone.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will also live here. This will live here. That's another workshop. It's another workshop. So my /articles page will then redirect to
/articles or to your
Made Vibrant
Yeah.
articles. Contact page.
contact.
Our contact page.
Yep.
Freebies. So those are all of my like free worksheets and stuff. Do you think maybe I should just create a page with those?
Yep.
Color Your Soul ending. That'll be a blog post.
Okay.
Resource shop access. I think I can delete that. Or just go to maybe the freebies page.
Or just the Made Vibrant page.
Yeah, true. Okay, so my abstract affirmations daily. I don't know what to do about this because a lot of these have like Pinterest links and stuff out in the ether.
Uh-huh.
So right now, my /daily page goes to basically a recap of the project.
Yeah, so I would just make that page, just make an abstract affirmations recap.
But I don't know how to do that.
I mean, I just wouldn't do it with all the pieces.
Okay.
All of those are individual
Yeah, it's a gallery.
pages?
Not pages, they're an image gallery.
Okay. What about when those were for sale? Did all of the
That's
pieces have
different.
their own?
It was the e-commerce.
Right, but it was all under the Made Vibrant domain, right?
Mm-hmm.
We probably need to get all those URLs and redirect them. What do they go to now? Do you know?
I don't even remember.
Okay, let's just make a note to look that up. We don't have to do it now.
Okay.
It's just, so we'll find out if we don't do anything about it because Google will send us an email and say, you have 403 pages that are throwing errors.
But they're not here right now. Like I already deleted them, I think, or made them not available.
Yeah.
Let me see. What's on the back end?
Ooh, let's see what's on the
So
back end.
orders, inventory. So if I go to pages and I go to my shop page, art shop. See, so this is like disabled right now.
Mm-hmm.
My poor little computer's trying to take video of all this.
Oh, it's doing
She's
it.
tired.
It's doing it.
So like for example, this one lives at artprint/indulge, Made Vibrant /art-prints/indulge. it probably will say not available. Yeah,
No,
so
just
it
redirects.
forwards.
So there is a redirect that's set up for that. So I truthfully think we're going to have to set up redirects for all of those URLs.
Okay.
Maybe. I think we should just make a note. We might be able to just do a catch-all with like any URL that's after the slash.
Well, you can do that.
If it's not specified.
You do
to star.
star. Yeah, because let me see here. I think actually under my advanced URL mappings, let's see if maybe that's where I did it. Look at all these URL mappings I already have from like my past websites.
Right.
But
So we should make a note too that we're going to need to copy all those over.
There's a lot of like handlettering for beginners. Yeah, so anything prints there. /art prints /star goes to daily.
Mm-hmm.
So where am I? Here. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a line item here. Can I stop this video? It's like making my computer really hot.
Yeah, you can. The people aren't going to get there behind the scenes.
It's just too hot.
It's too hot. 1 hour, 6 minutes. Cruising along. Everything's still recorded. Yeah. Not your little face. Not your little doggy face.
Okay, so that is gonna go to probably like a page about that.
The abstract affirmations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, connecting with your core. That's gonna go to the connecting workshop.
Same with the
Connecting
replay.
workshop. Thank you, Valentine. These are all like email sign up, like content magnet things.
Right.
Lead magnet, content magnet.
Yeah, this for me is kind of like my 90-day challenge stuff, where it's like, I don't really care about that
Right,
audience. Like, I
anymore.
don't think that audience.
So I'm just gonna send this to Made Vibrant.
Cool. Sorry, people who are interested in 90-day challenge stuff. Not my core business objective
Thank you.
anymore.
Self-made society. So we'll go to newsletter. Color your soul dashboard. I haven't really thought about that. Any color your soul people where they can like access that.
They still have access to it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure nobody looks at it.
I would just send it to the Made Vibrant page and then we can figure it out if it
Okay.
comes up. Sorry, Color Your Soul people. We got to make changes. We can't keep things up on the internet forever.
What is confirmed?
You're confirmed. It's probably for drip because you need a confirm page. That's why.
So where does that go now? Newsletter?
The confirm page? Yeah.
All right. That's all Made Vibrant.
Okay, so Jason Does Stuff, I have a /now page. That'll go to our new /now. My about page will go to /Jason Does Stuff. My articles page will just go to the articles because I don't need a segment of my own. This random thank you page that I created will just go to Jason Does Stuff. My root domain will go to Jason Does Stuff. This mid confirmation page will just go to Jason Does Stuff. My confirmed page. So I wrote on mine before you mentioned yours, would just go to /JasonDoesStuff. So maybe let's just do that for yours as well.
But if you think about it, that person wanted, the intention of that person, whoever was going there, was that they signed up for something. So wouldn't you want to send them to like /newsletter to sign up for what it is now?
Well, it's just a weird experience no matter what, because essentially the only way they're getting that page.
I hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
We should maybe send them to where they expected it to go.
yeah.
The closest thing.
Yeah. Okay.
My knees are hurting.
That's okay. So my newsletter page is just going to go to the new newsletter page.
That new newsletter.
So my podcast page, where it talks about Invisible Office Hours and Action Army. So should I make a page that talks about those, I guess?
That page doesn't exist.
This is just podcast.
It's definitely,
Weird.
that was weird. It is just podcast. You sure you don't want to send them to the new podcast page?
Well, that's what I was thinking about, was like, do I want people to know about Invisible Office Hours and Action Army? And then like I've had previous podcasts, like I could just make a page that talks about, so I could have like just a generic podcast page, and it could say like, here's the podcast that we do now, and then like previously Jason ran these podcasts. So it's more just like a recap of like our journey through podcasting, which Sleeping with the Boss could be in. I think we do that. We'll just make a podcast page.
Well, don't have it be podcast. Have it be like past podcast or
Sure.
something.
Okay.
Okay.
So projects, that's just going to go to
About.
because that's what those are.
I mean, you could do like about hashtag.
No, that's fine. Start here. So we are going to have a start here page.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
We have not done that yet. All right. So we're not going to have a start here page for now. So maybe about.
Yeah.
So this bundle thanks won't exist anymore. So it's going to go here. That's a thing. That's a thing. That's a thing.
What's wasn't that cool?
It was just when I was trying random, I think, confirmed pages. That's a thing. And then, so I think this is a good page to think about. Like, I'll make it just a redirect for now, but I had this opt-out page on my site. Did you have an opt-out page on your site? So in essence, in any email, if we ever wrote like, hey, don't want to get these updates about this thing or whatever,
Oh,
it's
I
just
did
like
have an
a
opt-out
generic
page.
opt-out. Oh, well, that's not on the list.
No, you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of like Buyer Future, I think. I just thought we had created it at some point. Anyway, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all of our pages. Okay.
Okay.
Now I think we should go through line by line 407 articles that we have.
And do what?
If someone's watched this far, could you imagine if they're like, wait, what? What did he say?
Wait, what was that?
What did he say?
No, F that.
Okay, I think you and I should talk about this stuff.
Okay.
But I think we can do it and stop this recording.
That's fine, but before we stop this recording, let's talk about what the action steps are now that we just did that.
Yeah.
So, is it too early for us to create these in WordPress for the new site?
I think it's too early before Ben finishes the first article template.
Okay.
So, because I think what we have to think about is the WordPress dump from Jason Does Stuff to Wandering Aimfully. So I think that should be one of the first steps that we take, is to export my WordPress posts and pages and import.
And mine.
Yes, and yours. And I don't know if I'm going to do pages. I think I'm just going to do posts, because I don't think there's any reason to actually do.
One or the other.
I don't think there's any reason to do the pages, because I think we're going to redirect most of them, or we're going to make new ones, as opposed to the posts where we're just going to update a lot of those or redirect them.
I don't understand what you just said.
I'm trying to save us the work of importing 20 pages from my site and 30 pages from yours, and then just having to go through and delete them all later. Like, let's not import those 40 pages and create the ones we need and create the redirect URLs for the ones we don't. As opposed to the posts where we're not going to be able to separate through. Are you following or not?
Are you saying that when we download the XML file to go in and delete the pages and just leave the posts, and then manually add the new pages from scratch?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
It's when we export out of WordPress for me, I choose pages and posts. I'm not going to choose pages.
I can't. I don't have that.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we were talking two different languages.
We always are. Women are from Venus and men are from Mars.
Women are from Squarespace, men are from WordPress.
That's true. Okay, so that is the next step for us, is to export and import. If Ben finishes the article tomorrow, which he sent me a message he's hoping to have done.
Just you specifically?
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Are you exhausted from this conversation as well?
Then hopefully we could import. I would say
start that
let's
process.
start with just mine for now.
Okay.
And we can kind of go from there, and we'll see how it goes.
How many days do you think it's going to take us to get the content to a place where it's ready?
Okay, let's go over that with the folks, because if they're still interested, I think that is an interesting part of this. So of the 407 articles, 239 of those are mine.
Okay.
So that's how many articles I've written versus how many articles you've written.
All of mine aren't in here.
Oh.
For sure. Are they? Maybe they are.
Well, you can sort just by yours.
Oh, they are. They're just not. I got it. Okay.
Okay. So 407 minus 239 is 178.
I'll tell you right now where MV is Made Vibrant. This Airtable says that I have in this document 168.
Ooh, I was off by 10. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. For those of you at home, we were like, it's 168, you idiot. So of mine, I've gone through and marked, what is this? That was at 128 to 91, so 37. I'll be deleting 37 of mine.
So I need to go through.
Yeah, you need to go through and do what I did, which is essentially see if they can be combined into one bigger post.
Yeah.
Or if they're just related to one, and then like I wrote here, like just redirect, don't migrate, just redirect, don't migrate. And then like some of these are like this one I rewrote already, and that's becoming one post. So we can go through that off camera to like actually sit down and go through these somewhat together, just to see. But then we have some bigger buckets. So like I'm taking 134 to 160, 26 articles that I have on my site and trying to combine them into one. So that's going to be, to me, that's the biggest part of this, is that editorial thing. So
Something that is also a curveball, which I just thought about, is like, those are just your articles related to that.
right,
Do you want my information in there as well?
right, which we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you guys at home should take away from this is like, we've spent years writing, like going for kind of quantity, not quantity over quality, but like quantity, like always writing. And now it's about trying to, like that was sort of about building an audience, and now it's about playing the SEO game. So it's like stripping it down to the most quality content possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so specifically for this one where it's, what did I say? 26 articles, 36 articles, whatever it is. It's 26. They're all related to getting started in business. So,
And I for sure have plenty of stuff about
right.
that.
So the idea is like, we have 26 of my articles. Let's say we have 15 of your articles. That's 41 total articles related to this. How can we make that just the ultimate guide to getting started in business?
In online business.
Right. And the keyword that I've started ranking for is starting a business with no money. So I don't know if we want to continue down that path. We don't have to, but if it becomes the ultimate guide to starting a business with no money, we're already getting a little bit of keyword traffic through Jason Does Stuff with that. Like I'm already on the first page for that phrase, which is good. So if we make the ultimate guide to that, we could literally rank first for that and then hopefully rank for a lot of other terms that are related. But the fact that Google will say, hey, this is a #1 for a keyword and it's getting volume, I'm going to reward it for other things. This is kind of the trickle down effect of SEO.
Can you put time aside to look at my site as well and see if any of my stuff has good keyword? How do I do that?
I can actually tell you right now. You stopped recording, right?
Yeah. I think I did set up a console.
Yeah, you did. I thought I had access to it, but I don't. So that one's not verified. So if we go to Made Vibrant and we go to, I'm currently in Webmaster Tools. If you guys are just at home going, what's he looking at? I'm in Webmaster
What are you
Tools.
doing? Maybe you should record to your screen.
Maybe I should, but I'm not going to.
Oh, interesting.
Not going to. Okay, so in the past 90 days, the thing that you get the most clicks for is people searching the phrase Made Vibrant. So the people are literally just searching for you, essentially. The thing that you get the most clicks for a generic search is how to paint abstract art for beginners.
Really?
Yep. That's the
funny.
most volume to click ratio. So what we can see where there are places where you have room for improvement if you want to improve would be things like acrylic painting ideas. Now, I don't know if we want to improve on that, right? Like that's not. So like you start to look at some of these keyword phrases that you are ranking for that are getting some traffic and you realize like.
So what? That's the most traffic? Explain to me what I'm looking at here. Like,
you're looking at the organic keywords that people are typing into Google.
That's allowing them to find my site in the past 90 days, and it's around acrylic painting.
That is your number one keyword that brings in impressions. That's not the one that brings in the most clicks. That's the one that brings in the most impressions.
Scroll back up to the top.
Well, what do you mean?
That's just so unbelievable to me.
Yeah. So if we go by clicks, those are the things where you're getting the most like actual organic traffic. So like how to create an e-course. So that doesn't get a ton of clicks and volume, but it is actually something that we probably would want to rank for. So we both have articles on that we could try and combine for that. And you actually you're in a good position for that. You're number one most times, which is good, but there's not a lot of people searching for that. But that could be very highly qualified people because they are like, they could want to be Teachery customers. They could want Easy Course and those things.
Anyway, that's just interesting to me.
Yeah. So, but looking at this, so your original question was like, how can I see? So anything where you have a decent amount of impressions, where you're ranking between like 5 and say 15 on these is probably something where we could do a lot of improvement SEO wise. And then it's just a matter of if you want to rank for those things.
It's funny, you are capable.
Right. Dream Small is another one where you're number 6 that you could potentially be number 1 if we probably went into this post and optimized it.
Where does that go? Where do they click to?
This goes to, so it's not even on the first page. Why dreaming small could be the new dreaming big. It's an article you wrote.
Yeah, I figured that was the post, but.
Yeah. So let's give you just an idea. So like you see this data for yours. So let's pop over to mine real quick. What happened? Why'd you get confused? So if we do mine, we go search analytics, we go impressions, CTR, position, queries, and we go date range, 90 days. So social media detox is my number 1, which is great because I'm getting a lot. It's a high traffic thing now.
Just to give you some context, for mine, we're talking about like tens of clicks on things for maybe 1,000 impressions, and Jason's are like 3,700 clicks for 14,000 impressions.
Right.
So like his site is obviously way more optimized for SEO, way more content driven, way better keyword optimized. My site was never intended for that. It was more like brand focused, I guess you could say. It was more about building an audience.
And we've talked about this for years. Like we've gone on countless walks where we've discussed like, hey, do we want to go through and optimize your stuff? And we did this for your better branding course, which we could actually go back and look through real quick. But like you can see, like I'm in the hundreds for clicks on a lot of these. You were quickly in the few.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's more just saying
it's showing like this is what it looks like if you are using SEO well for your business, and like that there's a lot of opportunity for us.
And just really quickly, like here is, and sorry that I'm not showing this to you, I'm not going to record my screen. If you really care, you can leave a comment and we can do some of this stuff. So like an average day for me is about 1,500 unique visitors, 1,000 to 1,500 on Jason Does Stuff. And the majority of that's organic traffic, like, 900 of those 1,500 people. So whatever that math is. For you, it's about 100 people is your average. So it's 10x the amount of traffic. It doesn't mean my content is 10 times better. If anything, I would argue that it's not 10 times better. It's that it's 10 times more optimized.
Yeah, and so, applicable to search.
Yeah,
right?
and that's what and applicable to, I think, obviously, like a lot of the things we want to. Like my keywords used to be dominated by I Wear Your Shirt and 90-Day Challenge. And now social media detox is the number 1, which I'm so happy about because I would love to own that and continue to own that. But then like a bunch of these other posts, so this is where I was telling you, like I'm starting to see some things trending up. So like this how to get sponsored post, This one wasn't on the first page of Google, and now it's number 6. So when we make the ultimate guide
to getting sponsored,
on how to get sponsored, that's the exact phrase.
Ultimate guide for how to get sponsored, whatever.
But like that type of thing is really
or
good.
Or maybe like the H2 is like how to get sponsored.
Well, you need it in the H1.
Yeah.
See, that's part of this is like Google is.
But it's such a weird phrase. How to get sponsored.
Absolutely. So how to write a pitch email. So now I'm number 1 for. I'm really just number 1 for pitch email as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, you can see some of these, position based where.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole video just on this because this is probably in the weeds. But for those of you that are interested, when you're starting out, you have to have a strategy down the road of how you expect to get people to your website, to get them to your membership. And for us, that's a content strategy, and Jason has already laid a ton of groundwork for that. But that's why we're caring so much about this whole content migration thing and why we care to sit down and combine 400 plus articles, because this is a major engine of our traffic going forward.
And the huge thing here is you do it now so that in 6 months to a year, you start to see this.
Because it takes that long.
Yeah.
So it's like every day that you kind of like don't, and I'm not saying that everyone needs to care about it. Like I definitely think if you're in the beginning stages or, it just really depends on your business. Like my business, Made Vibrant, did fine for so long without caring about any of this. But if you do want to make it a part of your strategy, and you do want to lay some groundwork that could potentially really set you up for things like passive income and things where you're getting organic traffic in the top of a funnel, it's worth sitting down and doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at things like we have 2 articles on debt and getting out of debt, and I'm on the 2nd or 3rd page for how to be debt free. I know we could write a better article that's more actionable for that, and the fact that it's already getting a little bit of traffic, like a little tiny bit, gives me hope that we could quickly jump up to at least the first page. I don't know that we'd ever get to the number 1 result, but being on that first page would be really good, and that's the type of audience that we want to attract because they're looking to making a big change. So, anywho, hour and a half meeting here later. We need to go through the posts.
Yeah.
So that's what's next for us, is to kind of go through these, have a full conversation about that. And then we have a tab for new things that we're going to create post-wise. So we'll just have to go through this and talk about this. So that's really our next big move.
Yeah. So I think we have a ton. I mean, off the top of my head, I see like 6 or 7 like time blocks that we need, like action steps we need to take from here. So after this meeting, I'll just go through my notes, get with you, and we can kind of block those things out the rest of this week and set some deadlines for things.
The good thing is there's no NBA basketball on tonight, so let's get it done tonight. All those things.
All of them.
Hey, if you watched this far, I just love your face so much.
Thank you so much.
Like,
we're just trying to build a thing, and we just want to take you along for the ride, and we know it's not always sexy or interesting, but like, this is the realness of what it is.
Yeah. So if you like this, leave a comment, because you've watched this far.
And if you love Plaxico, hit the thumbs up.
Yeah. Plax gets a thumbs up, we get the comments. That's how this works.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, that's it. I'm going to shut this sucker down. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.